Welcome to Case Planning Part 2. The outcome we're after with this particular training module is to help your staff understand the concept of competency assessments. This is kind of new, so I want to take just a little time to make sure you understand. Now, this will be helpful if your staff understands these principles. Remember, the diagnostic assessment includes three pieces: the IRAS for the risk assessment, the stages of change. Prochaska is the desired one there. You could use Eureka to quantify that one. And then another one we're going to add now is the competency assessments. Remember, the diagnostic assessments are pre-case plan. The formative assessment is taking what you've discovered in your diagnostic and turning it into a case plan. And then the summative assessments are those that are done at the end of the client's work with that particular agency. So to understand the competency assessment, you need to take a look at this grid. Notice on the left axis, we've got skill level. Across the horizontal axis, we've got importance to client. And we're going to mark these in each of these grids. And the objective is to let the user, the client, examine his or her competencies and assign a value to them to get them thinking about what's going to be most important for them to work on. So the way this is going to work is that any competency that lands in the area of high importance and low skill becomes a critical focus. So the upper right corner is the critical ones that need to show up in your case plan. And then notice how we've moved to second priority and third priority, and then ones that are very low that we just put no priority on those at all. Now, to optimize the use of this, both the client and the case manager need to fill out individual copies. For a case manager to do this, you're going to have information that you've gathered from the client. You're going to have conversations with the client, and in the opening conversations and the building rapport with your client, you need to start looking at what they're good at, what their skill levels are, what their competencies are, because this will help you understand how to actually assess these competencies. So here's what it would look like in the actual form. And as you're going down through, you're looking at each of these 15 competencies, and you're trying to measure how important is that to the client. What's the level of importance? And as you're walking down through, you're assigning a level of importance and they're assigning a level of importance. And then you're going to go over these together and kind of figure out, okay, are these levels of importance, are they accurate? Because once you do that, you need to assign how important is it that you do this skill to complete your court requirements, and where are you currently in this skill? And when you begin to measure the two of these together, you'll discover that there's a very interesting correlation that takes place. For example, increase my level of education. That's not very important to me because I've got my GED. I'm good. I'm not looking to go to college. Good. Where's that going to fall? Level of importance is low, but the skill level is medium. It may be a second priority, but it's not a big deal. I'm not going there. Substance abuse. How good are you at beating substance abuse? We're not looking at how good are you at doing substance abuse, but refraining from it. How important is it? Well, I'm a user now. It's real important that I get off. It's a high importance. How good are you at doing that? Can you do that on your own? No. I have a very low skill level. That's why I'm a repeat offender. And so notice, because it's a high importance, but it's a low skill, notice that puts them in a critical level for the case plan. It's critical that there's some substance abuse addressed with this particular client, and so you're going to make a note. That has to be in the case plan. Family and friends, relationship building. Important to me is medium. My skill is low. All right, look at the grid on the left side. My skill level is low. It's a medium importance to me. Where does that put you? It puts you as a second priority. This is something that may be included in the case plan. So what you want to do is you want to go down the right column on the skill level, find everything that's low, and measure those against whether it's a high or a medium importance. And when you do that, you'll have a very good validation for what should be included in your case plan. So number 6, anger. That's a critical importance. Number 10, resolving conflict, critical importance. Number 13, problem solving. It's a low skill set, but it's only medium. So that puts us as a third priority, and you begin to get a feel for what's taking in the competencies. So now when I come back and do my diagnosis, I'm diagnosing not only risk, stages of change, but I'm also diagnosing the competencies of my client. Then when I go to put my case plan together in the formative assessment piece, Now I've got some hints on the kinds of things that should be included in the case plan, and I've got some validation other than just my gut instinct. Then when you do the summative assessment at the end of the case plan, go back and look at this competency list again and see whether or not the client has made success. You can also use this competency list to check the ongoing work of your client as they're moving through their case plan.